Okay, so I'm going to compare and review the 8-way percussion massage device versus the Hypervolt massage, and also the Theragun, which I don't have with me right now, but I'll include it in this kind of comparison. So I just did a review on this one by 8-way, but I found it really difficult to try and review this product without comparing it to the Hypervolt, which I've owned for a little over a year now. And so the video, maybe you didn't get very much information out of, but you'll probably get a lot more information out of this one, being in a comparison. I don't know, I just find it easier to compare things than it is to kind of review them. It is really hard to kind of do that after using a lot of other things for so long. Okay, so let's kind of get right into it. And by the way, look at this like paint on the Hypervolt. This is after owning it for about a little over a year now. It's been. This was one of the first batches that they sent out back in April of whatever, March, April, something like that. Anyways, the paint didn't hold up for shit on the Hypervolt. So that makes me kind of glad that this thing's black, and I don't think there's anything, on here that's going to chip off versus the silver. However, they did make a new one of these that came out that is all black as well. And just between those two, comparing them side by side, I had one of them in my hand, I had mine, I was using it. They're about exactly the same, power-wise. The other one claims that it has more power than the old version, and it's, marketed towards sports, but it's the same shit. Sorry. And, okay, so comparing them side by side, I will say kind of they're look at this. They're pretty much using the same exact lithium-ion battery. Everything's like, it's just about the same size. This one seems like it's a little thinner, but not by much. And I was really curious, so I started reading the bottom of them, and this battery says it's 2600 mAh. Someone will know what that means. And then over here it's 2400 mAh. So I think this one's a slightly stronger battery. I think that's what that means. Other than that, they're both 24 volts and 1 amp. So pretty much almost probably the same thing. However, the Hypervolt's battery comes out, which is a feature that 8-way's battery doesn't have. And I really like that feature. It allows me to take it with me when I'm hiking, because it fits, nicely in my backpack or whatever else. And so actually, between the two of them, this is probably going to be turning into my hiking device now, that I'm just going to be probably using whenever I go out on hikes. Other than that, I've been kind of leaning towards this one over the last month or so, and using this device. And the reason why is, well, when I'm using them both side by side and I decide to press into my body or client's or patient's body, this one starts giving out and losing power, and this one, nothing really seems to happen. I don't know if that's just because this one's new and this one I've been using for a while, but this one I seem to, I don't know. Anyways, this one pressing into it doesn't really have any give. This one kind of gives up on some of the pressure. Which makes me the next thing. They both have different speeds on there. This one has a more variety of speeds, and this one is actually quieter than the Hypervolt, which the Hypervolt has apparently some sort of patented noise technology. So you could hear right away. Let's turn this one off. This one's on speed 1, and you could just hear side by side. Let's turn this one back on. This one is definitely quieter. But okay, so that's 5 speeds, so let's go up to speed number 3. So this is speed 3 out of 5, and let's compare that to speed 1 on the Hypervolt. Speed 3 on this is still quieter than speed 1 on the Hypervolt. But let's go up to speed 2 on the Hypervolt, and let's compare that to speed 4 on this thing. Way quieter. Okay, speed 5 on this thing. This is the loudest this thing gets. Turn that off and compare it to speed 5. Holy crap. It's almost like I'm using a power tool. This thing is really loud in comparison. But actually I'm forgetting about it because it's not here. The Theragun is even louder than the Hypervolt. The Theragun is like back when I was making jigsaws into percussive devices. The Theragun is literally just a jigsaw. And really the Theragun is not even, it doesn't even really go in the same category as the both of these. Yeah, so the Theragun doesn't even sit in the same category really as both of these as far as what it feels like, because the Theragun, I think it has broader strokes, and so I noticed this too when I was comparing my jigsaw to both of these things, is that it feels like you're getting more of an impact, where these kind of feel more of a vibration. And same thing with even the Raptor. So the Raptor, which is by Hyperice, the big brother of this thing that costs like $3,600, and is kind of way out of the price point of most people, and they discontinued it anyway, so that's not even an option anymore. Which these things are, you know, they get the job done. They're definitely good. I do like the Raptor a lot, but out of these two, I'm really gonna start using this more in my practice. This is slightly heavier than this one. I didn't weigh them. I didn't look at how much each of them weigh. I'm sure you could find it on their website. This one's slightly heavier than this one, and you know, allows you to kind of put more weight into it instead of having to, you know, press. You know, battery life, they both, you know, say no more than an hour worth of use, and the battery on these things, both of them, they last forever. Both of them, I would say, have great battery life. The Theragun, since I don't own a Theragun, I haven't used it for an entire battery life cycle before, and I can't really comment on the battery on that one. And theirs actually has smaller batteries that, you know, you could take out, which is nice. They have the little, like, I think they're like this big in comparison. Well, okay, I guess it's maybe about the same, but their machines are still bulky anyways and hard to kind of take with. So if you were to go out and buy one right now, which one should you get? Well, if you're going to be taking it hiking with you and camping like I do, out backpacking, and you want something that's going to travel really well, you could do the Hypervolt. But if you want something that has a little bit more power, it's not going to kind of you know, give out when you press into it, and is going to be a little quieter, and you're probably not going to be traveling a bunch with it, then go with the Ached Away. And they both have cases, but the Ached Away one comes with a case. I'm pretty sure it comes with a case. I don't know, they sent me one with a case. And I'm not just saying this because they sent me one of these for a review. That when I bought this one, and by the way, I'm actually in the commercial for one of these things. They didn't ask my permission, they just kind of did it, but I thought it was cool anyways. And I was really stoked that they came out with this product, but I think someone kind of one-upped them. This is better in every aspect except for the fact you can't take the battery out. That's the only thing I don't like.